Hello viewers, welcome to the first, well actually it's not the first ever, I've done a Q&A before. I promised I'd do a Q&A video about 3 or 4 months ago, and I just never got around to doing it. I was spending every weekend doing Parma drama stuff or doing Sweden stuff, so it never happened. But now, it is happening. I asked Twitter and Facebook, if you're not already there, boom, boom, Twitter, Facebook, get on it. Yeah, so I've got questions, I'm going to answer those questions in a Q&A format, which is what you're supposed to do, right? Good. So question number 1 comes from Callum. The questions are going down there, are they? Okay, good. If you could spend a day with a Liverpool player, who would it be and why? Generally speaking, because I think I would look coolest with Emre Can. I think me and Emre just swanning around Liverpool, being like, "Oh, nice to meet." I don't know. He doesn't do. Emre Can doesn't do Scouse, does he? He's got sort of a German twang to his voice because he technically kind of is German. So yeah, Emre Can would be the answer because we'd look good. That's all. We'd be like the new Starsky and Hutch, Shan and Carr and Shan. Exactly. Martin Boberg Borgensen, who is your favourite ever player? Well, Martin, I'm going to have to split this into 2 categories of defensive midfielder, Xabi Alonso, just everything about him, the look, the passing ability, the vision, the creativity, the man. Oh, Xabi Alonso. If I were looking a little bit further up the pitch though, it would be either Ronaldinho or Zidane. Zidane just edges it. He was a maestro. The first player I remember watching, like the '98 World Cup, and just being mesmerised by, wasn't all the tricky Brazilians with like Rivaldo and Ronaldo and things like that. It was Zidane, and I just, for the next 6 years or 7, 8 years, whatever it was, I just loved watching Zidane in any chance I got. I just thought he was fantastic, and the way he left football with the headbutt is, bleep it, fucking cool, innit? So I just thought that was like, yeah, you know what? I don't care about a World Cup final. Bang! Oh yeah, I quite liked it. So yeah, probably Alonso, and then Zidane is like just under, doing, I don't know, step overs. Nathan Bray asks first football memory. My first football memory, I was 5 years old. It was the Euros in 1996, and I remember Gary McAllister missing the penalty and David Seaman saving it with like his thigh. And that was the first tournament. I remember being sat in front of a TV and watching that happen. And I think I was already quite into football like at 5 already. I was already like going to football like, every week. But that was my first memory. That was my first thought of, oh god, this is exciting. Because obviously it was in England as well. So Scotland missing against England, the crowd went wild. And we had the TV on quite loud. It was just like, oh football. It was great, yeah. So yeah, Gary McAllister missing a penalty, poor Gary. The next question comes from Manik Chorla. Hopefully I've said that right. If I didn't, I'm so sorry. Players to fit your formation or formation to fit your players. I think generally speaking, I would say, if we're talking Football Manager here, I would guess so. But actually real life football as well. I would always base my formation around the players at my disposal. Football Manager terms, player roles are massive. Just so you all know, player roles are so important, it's ridiculous. But then again, in real football as well, I wish Brendan Rodgers would just do that. That would be good. So just Brendan, if you want some advice, you know those players you've got, play them where they're supposed to play. Markovic is not a right wing back, just so we're all clear. He's not. He never has been. Aaron, which is, it's like a Hexanundo 40. That's what your at is. Very fancy with an X in there. Very confusing. How long have you been playing Football Manager for? Since, well, actually, I think someone might have asked as well. Like a similar question would be, what was your first Football Manager? Well, I played the demo of 99-2000 Championship Manager, and just thought it was okay. Didn't think that much of it. Then I got Championship Manager 01-02, and that was that. Then that was it. That was everything. 01-02 was just, yeah. It was the best Championship Manager game ever. I didn't buy the next 4. That's how good it was. I just kept playing the same one. So yeah, Championship Manager 1-2. In the comment section, this is like a question I quite like to. I'm throwing it back on you. It's a Q&A. You didn't think you'd be involved, did you? Yeah. What was your first Football Manager? Yeah. How long have you been playing for? Good question. Okay, a few more questions on it. Timo Battaglia. You know names aren't my strong point. Asked, what's my favourite team outside of England? Well, I guess now I've got this new sort of affinity with Parma, but I'm a shareholder in Real Oviedo. I did a very emotional save on Twitch last year with Real Oviedo, and I always wanted to buy shares. I just never got around to doing it, and then about a few months ago I bought some shares in Oviedo, and now I track how they do. Hopefully they can set the second division in Spain alight. So Real Oviedo, it's even the background on my phone. I'll prove it just to show you that I'm not lying to you. Oh god, tech now, Ben. Just Oh god, I'm not good with. I'm not that good with technology. I used to be quite like hip with technology. There it is, look. Real Oviedo, back of the phone, lovely. Kieran at Magix asks, "What teams am I going to be doing a save with in Football Manager 2016?" Well, I guess for the first time, I'll confirm that in the beta save, I'll be doing a top European team, but I just won't tell you who that is yet. But it's in the Premier League, and so there you are. That's more clues than I've given out before. And for my main save, I'll be doing a very lower league journey up in England, and then whatever. Then after that, let's see, let's find out together. But yeah, we're going to be doing like a tier 10 and up save. It's going to be long, but I think it'll be good. I've never done that on YouTube, so I'm excited. Just had a hair in my mouth. 2 hairs. They're growing in there. What's going on? Joe Cironi asks, who is your favourite player? Oh, sorry, no, it doesn't say that. I just can't read. Who is the worst player you've seen at Liverpool? Bloody hell, there's a few. I think to top it though, Christian Poulsen in the Hodgson era. That was emotional. That was really emotional because he broke me down a few times. Just incapable of doing anything. So yeah, probably him. We had a few others that were just like, what? I was never a big fan of David and Gog either, because he was like Bambi on ice. So I wouldn't say he was the worst, but yeah, Christian Poulsen wins it by a distance. Rubbish. And then he went to play for a team that was named after water. I mean, come on, that's where he belongs. What is going on here? They're coming out of nowhere. I'm going to say this name wrong. Kanile asks, I'm going to go with that. Has asked, if you could choose one Manchester United player ever to play for Liverpool, who would it be? I think at all time you would take someone like Ronaldo, right? But actually, personally, I would take Eric Cantona, because I think Cantona was just again, he was a bit like, he's probably the closest thing United have ever had to Suarez. He was a bit mental, but he was just a genius. So Eric Cantona would probably be the one. I'm trying to think. I always quite liked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Not that I'd want him playing for Liverpool. He was just quite a nice guy, wasn't he? Paul Scholes as well, decent player. Never got into trouble. Never said anything controversial. Basically, the United players that kept their mouths shut. And I've just said Eric Cantona, so we'll move on. Pingo Randomised, very, very loyal in my stream is Pingo. How you doing? He said, ask Benji, if you could go back in life and change one thing, what would it be? Can I change 2 things? I would have tried harder at school. Not because I'm disappointed of what's happened afterwards. I just think that a school is a great opportunity to maximise your potential. And if you're watching this and you're not doing that, and you've got a big year coming up at school or at college, and you're thinking, oh, I know, I'll breeze through it. I'm a smart kid. I'll just, you know what, I'm not worried about it. Then get rid of that mindset and work hard for a year or 2 years, because it's 2 years of a life that will be a lot more fruitful if you do. So work hard at school, and I wish I'd worked that bit harder. I was the sort of person that just sort of breezed through. It was never that difficult. It was just, if I'd have worked a bit harder, not even a lot harder, just a bit harder, I'd have done far better. And yeah, who knows where I'd be now? I'd probably be a millionaire. Not that I'm not already a millionaire. I mean, can you not tell by my surroundings? And the second thing would be, I would rather have not had a pulmonary embolism, which is a blood clot in your lung, which happened about 5 years ago. One day I'll talk about that more in depth. It's not something I ever cover, but I will say this though. Actually, I wasn't going to talk about this, but it's just I might as well. Doing this YouTube thing for me and doing streaming has been ridiculously therapeutic. It's been something that's really helped me, not just with like doing content and things like that, but it's a bit like therapy for me, if that makes sense. It's really difficult to understand. I went through, wow, this is going to get deep. I didn't plan on this. I went through like 3, 4, maybe 5 years of pretty dreadful depression. And I was the kind of guy that I would hear about, when I was like 17 or whatever, I would hear about people who had depression, right? And I'd be like, yeah, well, I feel a bit sad, do you? I feel a bit sad all the time. And then just think nothing of it, right? Until you're in that horrible dark state of feeling completely worthless and completely pointless, you don't understand what that is like, and it's pretty dreadful. And I'm happy to say, and hopefully this will help someone else, that I went through 5 years of that, and very slowly but very surely I'm getting past that. and moving on to things that are making me feel happier. And I'm a much happier person now than I was 5 years ago by any stretch. But yeah, the PE was a contributing factor into what was already quite a sad existence that I thought I was living. It's not something I've ever talked about. You'll never hear me say this on stream. I don't know why on earth I'm saying it right now. But I guess the reason I'm saying it is that if you're out there and you watch my videos and you find some comfort in my videos, then the way to get through that is to do things that make you happy. So do as many things as you can to make yourself happy. I didn't think this would be said, but there it is. So take it. If people would like to talk to me about this sort of thing in the future, or you want to confide in me if you're having a tough time, then I'm more than happy to lend advice, but don't expect me to be all cutesy and lovey. I'll be honest, and I'll take the situation as it is. But I'm just letting that be put out there as well. This video is going to get a lot longer now because of this, but I feel like this is probably the most important question. You didn't actually ask a question about depression or anything, but I took it as, what's the one thing in my life I would change? And I would change the two things that made me saddest. So, yeah. And finally, the final question, bit of a contrast to the previous question. This was Adam versus FIFA has asked, what's the best headed goal you've ever seen? Pro clubs, about 4 months ago, one of my friends, James Bratvan, in my stream, you might know him, scored a header on pro clubs from about 25, 30 yards. That was ridiculous. I've not seen a better header than that in real life. Luis Suarez's last season, or a couple of seasons ago. That was good. But yeah, that header was great. So yeah, no more to add, Your Honour. I did get some other questions, but they're the sort of questions that I answer all the time in streams and things. So if I didn't answer your question, come into a stream this week. Hopefully I'll be streaming a couple of times, and I will let you know what's going on in those. Yeah? Good? We solid? Boom. Sick. If you've got any more questions, maybe if I do a Q&A again, leave them in the description. Again, leave your first Football Manager in the comment section as well. So if you enjoyed today's Q&A video, something a bit different, don't usually do Q&As, got a little bit deeper than I thought it was going to. If you saw that bit, I didn't even cut it out. So there we go. So from me, Dr. Benji, we love with care. Stay humble, stay handsome, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.